I stared at the screen, my hands trembling, as a notification popped up. Emma and Liam are having the best time at the beach with Grandma. My heart sank.
Grandma?
That was my mom, Charlotte, smiling in the photos as if nothing had happened, while I sat at home, the kids' laughter replaced by silence. My youngest, Emma, waved at the camera with that big gummy smile, completely unaware that the woman calling herself Grandma had just told them I was too busy for them. Rage and heartbreak collided inside me. How could she do this? How could she steal these moments and paint me as the villain in my own children's eyes? My throat tightened and a fire ignited in me. This wasn't just betrayal. This was war. Can you imagine finding out your own mom told your kids you were too busy just to take them on vacation? What would you do if this happened to you? Comment below. I need to hear your thoughts. Before that day, my life felt like any other devoted mother's life. I was Lauren Miller, a single mom working long hours at a marketing firm in Chicago, juggling deadlines, school drop-offs, and bedtime stories without missing a beat. My kids, Emma, age 8, and Liam, age 6, were my world. Every morning, I packed their lunches with care, tucked little notes in their backpacks, and kissed them goodbye with a promise that no matter what, I'd always be there for them. My mother, Charlotte Whitman, had always been controlling, but I never imagined she'd cross a line like this. She smiled too sweetly at family gatherings, always offering help that felt more like interference. I thought it was harmless, that she just loved her grandkids a little too much. The first hint something was wrong came when Emma asked, "Mom, are you going on the trip with us?" My heart skipped. "Trip?" I asked, confused. That's when Liam shyly held out a brochure with a family vacation stamped on it, Charlotte's name in bold. My chest tightened, my stomach dropped. She had lied to my kids, telling them I was too busy to join, while she whisked them away on a sunny beach vacation. I felt blindsided, humiliated, and furious all at once. This wasn't just meddling, this was sabotage. It was in that moment, seeing their excited faces in my hands, that I realized something had to change. I couldn't let Charlotte manipulate my children and ruin the bond we had built so carefully. The days after discovering my mom's betrayal were some of the hardest I've ever faced. Every time I called Emma and Liam, their voices carried an unfamiliar excitement, talking about sandcastles, ice cream, and Grandma's fun surprises. My heart ached with a mix of longing and fury. How could Charlotte twist their perception of me so easily, painting me as the neglectful parent when I had done nothing but love and care for them? I tried talking to her. I called, my voice shaking, asking her to return my kids, or at least tell them the truth. Charlotte laughed it off, saying, "Lauren, they're having fun. Don't ruin it with your stress." That laugh, it cut deeper than any insult ever could. She had crossed every boundary I thought we had, and worse, she was enjoying it. At night, I would sit alone in my apartment, scrolling through the photos she shamelessly posted online. Emma building a sandcastle, Liam flying a kite. My chest tightened with a mixture of heartbreak and simmering anger. I questioned myself constantly. Am I too controlling? Am I overreacting? But deep down, I knew I wasn't overreacting. I was a mother watching someone else rewrite her story with her own children. Sleep became elusive. My dreams were haunted by Charlotte smiling triumphantly as I watched helplessly. But in that pain, a spark ignited. Anger transformed into clarity. I couldn't change what had already happened, but I could plan. I could reclaim my children, my authority, and my dignity. I started keeping notes, dates, times, social media posts, and phone calls. I researched ways to protect my kids legally and emotionally. Every small step gave me a sense of control, a flicker of hope. My pain had a purpose now, and it wasn't just to suffer, it was to act. Charlotte had underestimated me, thinking I was weak, broken. She was wrong. I was preparing, silently, for the moment when I would take back what was mine and show her that no one messes with a mother's bond with her children and gets away with it. I began laying low, pretending to be absorbed in work while quietly gathering everything I could to expose Charlotte's manipulation. Every phone call from the kids, every social media post, every casual brag about their secret trips became a piece of evidence. I even started talking to a family attorney, discreetly asking about boundaries and custody rights, careful not to tip Charlotte off. At home, I created a small binder labeled The Truth, filling it with screenshots, dates, and notes. It became a daily ritual, checking, organizing, planning. My anger had matured into strategy. I wasn't going to confront her blindly. I was going to make sure when the moment came, there would be no doubt, no escape. Even my kids noticed subtle changes in me. I was calmer on the calls, more patient, more deliberate with my words. I wanted them to see me as strong, even from afar, and to know that I wasn't going to disappear or be erased from their lives. Charlotte thought she was in control, but she had no idea the storm I was quietly preparing. The day finally arrived. I asked Charlotte to meet me at the park under the guise of a casual visit with the kids. She arrived, sunglasses hiding her expression, probably thinking she was still in control. Emma and Liam ran ahead, laughing, while I kept my calm, letting the moment build. "Mom," I began, my voice steady but cold, "we need to talk about the trip." Charlotte's smile faltered. "Lauren, it was just a fun weekend," she started, but I cut her off.
"No, Charlotte.
"You lied to my kids. You told them I was too busy, while you whisked them away on a vacation. And you documented it all online as if you were the perfect grandmother, rewriting my role as their mother. That stops now." Her face went pale, her confident mask slipping. I handed her the binder, screenshots, messages, photos, and dates meticulously organized. Everything. Every lie, every manipulation. And I've consulted a lawyer. From today on, boundaries will be respected, or there will be consequences. Emma and Liam looked up at me with wide eyes, but I knelt and hugged them. "I'm here always," I whispered. The kids' smiles returned, this time directed at me, their mother. Charlotte opened her mouth, but no words came. Her power, so carefully cultivated, had evaporated in an instant. I stood tall, feeling the weight lift off my shoulders. Anger transformed into empowerment. The betrayal had been shocking, but my response, calm, prepared, deliberate, was even more powerful. Charlotte had underestimated me, but I had reclaimed my role as a mother and, more importantly, my peace of mind. For the first time since the vacation photos appeared, I felt in control. Justice wasn't about revenge for revenge's sake. It was about restoring balance, proving that no one, not even family, could undermine the bond between a mother and her children. Sitting alone that evening, after the confrontation, I let myself breathe for the first time in weeks. The tension, the fear, the endless nights of worrying about what Charlotte might do next, it all began to fade. I realized that the real victory wasn't in exposing her or asserting control. The victory was in reclaiming my power and reinforcing my bond with my children. Through this ordeal, I learned that boundaries are not optional, even with family. Love doesn't mean allowing someone to manipulate or diminish you. I also realized that anger, when focused and disciplined, can become a tool for change rather than destruction. My determination wasn't about punishing Charlotte. It was about protecting my children and myself. The moral of this story is simple but profound. Standing up for yourself, even against someone who should love you unconditionally, is necessary. It's not selfish to demand respect. It's not cruel to insist on honesty. And it's not weakness to say no to repeated violations of trust. I learned that being a mother doesn't just mean nurturing and providing. It also means protecting and teaching through example. I hope anyone watching this story can take a piece of it with them. Strength often emerges from pain, and clarity often emerges from chaos. When someone undermines your role in your own life, it's not just about reacting. It's about responding strategically and thoughtfully. Life after that confrontation has been quieter, but in the best possible way. Emma and Liam and I have settled into a rhythm that feels intentional and safe. Weekends are filled with laughter and bedtime stories, not the shadow of betrayal or fear. Vacations are now planned by me, with their input, creating memories that belong solely to us. Every small moment feels precious because I fought to preserve it. Charlotte has become a distant figure in our lives, not because I hate her, but because I established the boundaries necessary to protect my children. She still tries to reach out occasionally, but I respond on my terms, ensuring my kids are never caught in the middle. The dynamic that once allowed her to manipulate and control has been dismantled, and for the first time, I feel the stability every mother deserves. I've also grown personally. I no longer doubt my instincts or question my abilities as a parent. I've learned that setting limits is not cruel, it's necessary. I've learned that love is not passive. It requires vigilance, courage, and sometimes confrontation. Most importantly, my relationship with Emma and Liam has deepened. They trust me fully, and I can see the joy in their eyes that was briefly overshadowed by Charlotte's deception. Together, we've built a safe, loving space where honesty and respect are paramount. This experience has been painful, yes, but also transformative. I have discovered a strength I didn't fully recognize before, and that strength now defines the life I share with my children. No one can take away the bond we've nurtured, and nothing can erase the lessons we've learned together. Sometimes revenge isn't about hurting someone else. It's about reclaiming yourself and protecting those you love most. I've learned that standing firm, setting boundaries, and acting thoughtfully can restore not only your life, but also your peace of mind. My journey wasn't easy, and the betrayal cut deep, but the lessons I gained, and the bond one rebuilt with Emma and Liam, made every step worth it. If you've ever faced a situation where someone tried to manipulate or control your relationship with loved ones, I want to hear your story. Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more real-life stories of resilience, empowerment, and justice.